What's going on, guys? I want to talk about Combate 50, Combate Fresno, November 22nd on Friday. I just want to give a quick rundown. I'm not going to talk about the bottom three fights. I'm looking on Topology right now. I don't really have strong feelings on the bottom three fights, but the top six fights, I'll go ahead and give you my insight. I went ahead and taped this card yesterday and the day before that. I spent a lot of time on it, actually. There's no UFC card this weekend. Next one is until December 2nd, so I'm glad they came out with Cage Warriors lines, One Championship, and Bellator, and also this Combate card. A lot of things to look at for the weekend, and I went ahead and started with this one. I have best fight odds pulled up here, so as far as the lines are concerned on these fights, I'll tell you where I think the value is. So yeah, starting with the main event, Ignacio Bahamondes versus Salvador Becerra. This fight's at 155 pounds. Becerra's 7-2, Ignacio's 9-2. So if you're not following me on Twitter, I tweeted out earlier in the week that I was very impressed with Salvador Becerra as far as his striking is concerned. I think he's got some high-level striking. Defense, his timing, his kicks, his hands. Everything's clean on the feet for Becerra. Really impressed with Becerra overall. He's got the experience edge in here. I think he's fought the tougher opponents. So it's a lot easier to tell that he can perform at higher levels versus higher level opponents. For Ignacio, he hasn't really fought anybody in my opinion. He's 22 years old. He used to fight at welterweight. This fight's at 155 pounds. He's going to be the bigger, taller guy in there. He's 6'2" at lightweight. But that doesn't really concern me here. I think over the course of 15 minutes, Becerra is going to be too much on the feet. He's got a significant boxing advantage in my opinion. I think Bahamondes can probably make this close on the feet with the kicks. But like I said, Becerra's got a good feel for kickboxing on the feet. He fought Bustamante. I believe that was a fight in 2018. Bustamante was a really good kicker. He had no trouble dealing with the kicks. Every time Bustamante threw a kick, he immediately returned with punches. That's exactly what you want to do versus a kicker. So yeah, the kicks don't really worry me. And also another thing to add is, I think if anyone's going to be shooting for a takedown here, it's going to be Becerra. Neither guy is much of a grappler. I don't really rate either guy grappling, but Becerra has shown in the past that he's willing to mix it up. Despite winning on the feet, he's going to keep his opponent guessing with a takedown here and there. And yeah, I think Becerra is going to win this fight unanimous decision. The line is currently minus 155. I'm kind of waiting it out a little bit. I don't have a bet in this fight, but I think the right side here is Becerra. So yeah, next fight is a women's fight at 115 pounds. Caroline Gallardo versus Corina Herrera. To be honest, I'm going to say right now it's probably a pretty low-level fight. It's Gallardo is 3-3. Corina Herrera is 4-4 with one draw as a pro. But I just thought there was more to like as far as Gallardo was concerned. I liked her striking. I liked her wrestling. I liked her grappling defense. Herrera is 31 years old, I believe. She's got more experience here. She's fought way tougher opponents. She's actually fought Amanda Serrano, who I believe is a boxing champion. I'm not too familiar with boxing at all, but I was going through YouTube trying to find this girl's fights, and I saw this fight with Amanda Serrano had like 2 million views or something. So I was like, well, what the fuck? Why is this girl who's 0-0 going against the 3-4 chick? Why does it have so many views? Why are so many people interested? Come to find out, Serrano was making her MMA debut. She is a boxing world champion. Anyways, that fight played out to be a draw. That kind of tells the whole story right there. If you can't beat a boxer in MMA and you're an MMA fighter, kind of tells me the whole story right there. But like I said, I'm not going to underestimate this girl. I mean, the line is close for a reason. But like I said, I think there's more to like in favor of Gallardo here. I put a one unit bet on her at plus 100. I think she's going to get the better of the striking exchanges on the feet. I think Herrera has to make this get inside and make this a dirty fight. But I think Gallardo's going to win this fight via unanimous decision. She's going to get the better of the exchanges on the feet over the course of 15 minutes. And I think she's got what it takes to defend the takedowns if Herrera wants to drive this fight to the mat. So I placed one unit at plus 100 there for Gallardo. Next fight is at 155. It's Adrian Guzman versus Danny Ramirez. Ramirez is 6-5. Guzman is 5-1. Danny Ramirez actually opened up at plus 315. Guzman opened as a minus 400 favorite. I told a few guys I was discussing this card with that line was a little wide, and I thought the value was on Ramirez early. It got bet down in the next few hours all the way to plus 180 for Ramirez. Ramirez is plus 190 right now. I do think he's the value side. Despite his record 6-5, you might look at it and compared to the 5-1, it's like, oh, it's lined that way for a reason. I don't necessarily think that. I think the value is all on Ramirez here. Ramirez actually beat Salvador Becerra, who is the main event fighter I was talking about. Becerra shouldn't have lost that fight, but props to Ramirez for winning, for turning the fight around. In the second round, the first round, he got beat up 10-8 first round for Becerra. Ramirez found a way to turn it around and get the finish. But anyways, I sort of classify Ramirez as a bit of a brawler. He's got some wrestling, and I think where the value comes in is the wrestling. For Ramirez, Adrian Guzman, I didn't like what I saw as far as grappling defense and takedown defense. I'm going to give Guzman the edge on the feet. Guzman could come out here and KO Ramirez on the feet in round one. I'm not saying that can't happen, but I did think the line was way too wide off the bat. I could see Ramirez subbing this guy on the feet if Guzman is overextending early with his punches. So yeah, I think the values on Ramirez here. I think Ramirez could win a unanimous decision via wrestling or catch a submission on the feet because, like I said, I'm not too impressed with Guzman as far as his jiu-jitsu defense and his takedown defense. The next fight's at 125 pounds. It's Paul Elizondo 3-0 versus Trevor Wells 2-1. I taped Paul Elizondo last Combate card. He had a fight 3 months ago, I believe. Very impressive guy. I like his jiu-jitsu. I think he's got high-level jiu-jitsu, and he's got good takedowns to mix that in with. So he's minus 500 here. I think the line is a little wide, but like I said, Paul Elizondo is an impressive young fighter. I think Trevor Wells could possibly defend early and make it a little interesting on the feet. But as the fight rolls on, rounds 2 and 3, I think Elizondo is going to get him down and possibly submit him in the second or third round. Line is way too wide to play anything, so yeah. Next fight is Calio Romero versus Israel Delgado. Romero's fighting out of Team Alpha Male. Actually, I think a lot of guys are fighting out of Alpha Male on this card. He's 4-1. Israel Delgado is 2-2. Romero's currently minus 205. Romero has a wrestling background. He's a pretty good wrestler. He's got decent submissions on the feet. But on the other hand, Delgado looks like a pretty good athlete. I believe he trains with Gilbert Melendez in that team. So yeah, I don't know. This is a really tough fight. I think in round one it could be interesting because I think Delgado is the better striker here. I think it's striker versus grappler. That's pretty much what it is. But if Delgado doesn't get him out of there in round one or doesn't have big moments in round one, I just don't see how he can win rounds 2 and 3. So I'm going to go with the wrestler here. I think the Romero can get him down in rounds 2 and 3. Just like the previous fight, I think he can submit him in maybe round 2 or 3. So give me Romero. I think the line's a little too wide to bet Romero, but I do really like Romero to win this fight. But yeah, there's not a lot of tape to go off of for me to place a bet at minus 205 for Romero. He's fairly young in his MMA career. So yeah, I think I'm going to hold up, but Romero's my pick to win. Next fight, I do have a bet in. is Brock Diaz versus Joel Lopez. Brock Diaz is a wrestler. He's got a wrestling background just like Romero. Lopez is 1-0 as a pro. Brock Diaz, let me mention, does not have a pro bout. This is his first pro bout. It's another striker versus grappler matchup.